Suddenly, there was a knock on the doorway. "Rudy, may I?" Looking up, Roxy was standing there. Guess I left the door open. "Sensei." It felt like it's been forever since I spoke. Though my voice was so hoarse that I didn't know if Roxy heard it or not. Roxy walked briskly towards me. It felt strange. I wonder why. Ah, I see, she doesn't have her robe on today. She was wearing a very thin top and bottom clothing. How unusual. "Excuse me." Saying that with a firm tone, Roxy sat next to me. For a while, we sat in silence for a few seconds. As if choosing her words, Roxy whispered. "For a change of pace, would you like to come out with me? Yeah, there are a lot of magical items that you can't find on any other continents. If we look around here, it could turn out to be quite fun, you know?" No, I wasn't in the mood. I see. Sorry, Roxy's invitation. I understand she was trying to cheer me up. Normally, I follow her like a dog. However, I don't feel like it right now. Again, silence filled the room. Again, as if choosing her words, Roxy whispered. "It's regrettable what happened to Paul and Zenith." Regrettable? Is it fine to settle this with just the word regrettable? Well, for Roxy, it's merely someone else's business. I also remember the time when the five of us lived in Buina village quite well. To me, it may have been the happiest time of my life. Roxy said that quietly and held my hand. Roxy's hand was hot. When I was an adventurer, it wasn't rare for people close to me to die. I feel your pain because I also experienced it. Please don't lie. I had met Roxy's parents before. Those two were healthy. I hadn't heard them talk about having any other children. Aren't your father and mother well? Let's see, though the last time I met them was a few years ago. Both my parents are fine. They could live for another 100 years. Then, you don't understand. I felt someone rising up from the bottom of my heart, and I shook off Roxy's hand. Please don't say such thoughtless things, I yelled in a loud voice. As I yelled, I felt my remaining amount of power come out of my body. Even while Roxy looked taken aback, she whispered with a serious expression. The one who died was when I was just starting out as an adventurer. He had partied with me, and taught me the basics of adventuring. Though he wasn't my parent, I considered him as an older brother. He died while covering for me. I was also in distress. That's why, I can at least understand a fragment of your feelings. Then, you don't understand after all. You don't know my feelings being torn between my past self who reincarnated in the current situation. Honestly, I don't think I can get over this. Even if I know what Roxy is thinking that can make me better again, I don't have the will to follow it through. When I lived at Buina village, I was truly happy. When I thought of going to the kingdom of Asura to work, I couldn't find any jobs. So then when I went to the countryside, and thought of planning to start as a teacher, Rudy was overflowing with talent. Even Paul and Zenith treated me warmly. They may have been the ones that taught me the actual warmth of a family. Saying that, Roxy looked at my eyes. Her eyes were clear. To me, it was a second family. Roxy got up from the bed as she said that. She went behind me, and when she knelt, she hugged my head closely. Rudy, I will share your sorrow with you. I felt something soft at the back of my head. I could hear Roxy's heartbeat thumping. It was a relaxing sound. I wonder why hearing this sound made me feel relieved. I wonder why I felt everything will be okay. The same goes for the smell. Roxy's smell made me at peace. In such a hard time, when I remember Roxy's smell, it mysteriously became my support. I wonder why. The answer was coming out of my throat. But it didn't come. I am your Shisho. Although I am a small and inadequate Shisho, I have lived longer than you, and am sturdy. I don't mind if you wish to lean on me. I grabbed Roxy's hand in front of me. It was a small hand. But it felt big. Looking at this hand also made me feel at ease. I wonder if I'll be more at ease if I was closer to her. Even if it's painful, if two people share it, it will become lighter. Roxy parted from me as she said that. Instinctively, I pulled Roxy's hand towards me. Ah, her small body easily fell on my lap. Our eyes met directly. Her slightly sleepy eyes were wet with tears. Her face was bright red, and her mouth was shut tight. I placed my hand on her back and drew her closer. The sound of Roxy's heartbeat was getting faster. It was warm. It's okay. You know, I wonder what's okay. When males are grieving, when they sleep with a woman, I heard they would feel refreshed. Who said that? Must be Ellen Elise. What is Roxy saying at a time like this? Women are the same, they also want to forget painful things, and it's painful for me when Paul died. If Rudy is okay with it, I don't mind at all if you sleep with me. Roxy kept talking hurriedly. That's right. I want to forget about all this. But with a body that has no appeal, if you don't like it, you can go to a brothel, you know. Roxy kept talking as if making excuses. This person was a girl that I never ceased to respect. If I did what I was told and slept with her, I wonder what it would be like. Well, even though I look like this, I'm very experienced, and I think I can do much better than the other little girls. We'll do this casually, just to wash away this bad mood, and just try it out for once. Roxy's incoherent words could not reach me. I was in the mood. Just hearing her heartbeat, I felt so much more relaxed. If I get closer to her, I wonder if I would feel even more comfortable. I was thinking of excuses like that. Well, if you're talking about someone who would be better, I don't mind bowing to analyze. I pushed Roxy down on the bed. Very violently. It might be that I was venting out all my anger. Part 3. The next morning. When I woke up, the first thing to was Roxy's sleeping face. The innocent sleeping face of Roxy with her hair down. At the same time, the thought, I did it now, crossed my mind. I sighed. What should I say to Sylphie? My worries have increased by 1. But for some reason, I felt like my vision became clear again. As if all my worries had been a dream. I still had some feelings of depression within me. But this was not me at my most depressed. It could not even be compared to yesterday. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because the act of creating life healed the sadness of losing it. Then, Roxy's eyes snapped open. After she took a long hard look at me who was in front of her, she squirmed as if trying to hide her body under the blanket. Good morning, Rudy, then, she murmured while facing away. How is it? Asking me, how? I won't lie. I treated Roxy very violently. Roxy being experienced was a flat-out lie. Even so, she accepted everything, refusing to complain about the pain. It's something I am grateful and apologetic for. As someone who loves Sylphie, praising Roxy felt like a taboo. To be frank, Roxy's body was small, and slightly did not match my size. But it would be a lie to say I didn't feel good. Right now, I am certain I feel quite relaxed. I do not have to lie and hurt Roxy's feelings. It felt great. Roxy's face quickly turned red. Thank you very much. No, not that. I wanted to ask if you felt a little better. Oh, that. I failed. Yeah. Then, if you hug me in return, I'll be happy. Yeah. As I was told, I hugged Roxy. Roxy's skin was soft, moist and a bit sticky. She was sweating after all. From her soft skin, I could hear Roxy's heartbeat. It was a relaxing sound. Rudy's arms are quite burly. It's as if you weren't a magician at all. I've been training. Roxy said that while stroking my chest and arms. With such a cute act, my love for Sylphie wavered just a bit. I slowly pulled away from Roxy's body, then, I got up. I felt like I wanted to ask her something. Roxy-sensei, may I ask something strange? What is it? She probably noticed the atmosphere around me. Roxy also got up with a serious face, and sat in a kneeling position on top of the bed. A naked Roxy sitting on top of the bed in kneeling position. Because it was so erotic that it might be bad, I turned away my gaze. Covering my bottom half with a blanket, I continued to talk. This is just a made-up story. With that introduction, I began to talk. A story of a certain man, as a fiction to the end. A man who secluded himself when bad things happened to him when he was young. He was close to 20 years old, and lived like trash while leeching off of his parents. However, one day, his parents had suddenly died. That man not only did not go to the funeral, but on the contrary did the worst thing a human being can do. Seeing that, his other family members beat him up and threw him out of the house. The man had lost everything, but luck brought him to a new land, and he turned over a new leaf, and devoted himself to change for the better. His lifestyle was going well, and he thought that he would be happy if things kept like this. But currently right now, because of a big failure, he let a person important to him die. Because of that, that man remembered his parents' deaths. That man only then had mourned his parents' deaths. I told that kind of story. The more I talked about this, it felt my heart was spewing out pus. I wonder if I just wanted someone to hear this. Was it something that easy, I wonder? Roxy listened quietly, not cutting in with agreement, just silently listening. What do you think that man should do? Roxy remained silent. She might not know how to respond when being told such a story all of a sudden. There would be no way that she would believe that this was a story of my life. She is a wise person, so she may think that there is a hidden meaning to it. If it was me, I would go to my parents' graves. I don't think it's too late even now. The same with talking to the other family members. But the graves and the family members are far away, and he can't easily go to them. He may also be unable to return. That man has another life. He made a family in the new land, and he cherishes them dearly. He can't go back. Yes. In the first place, the possibility that he can't go back is quite high. Roxy again became silent at that, but this time it was short. In that case, there's nothing to be done. Now, he should take care of the family that's in front of him. Roxy's words were awfully cliché. They were words anybody could come up with and say. It wasn't special or anything, just something that was obvious. Even Paul would have wished for you to do so, Rudy. Roxy said something obvious in a matter-of-fact way. Self-flattering. Commonplace words. Words that she heard from somewhere. Please face the future. Everybody is waiting for you. But my heart felt refreshed. Yeah, it was common. The death of my parents in my previous life, and Paul's death as well. This was something obvious. There is no choice but to accept that and face forward. I am living in this world, and I will continue to live in this world. Paul's death, and Zenith that became a cripple. The anxiety of going back and telling that to my waiting family in the north. The anxiety of not knowing what to do now, it was a future full of anxiety. But I mustn't run away. I have no choice but to solve what's in front of me right now. Though I do not know specifically what I should do, I have no choice but to solve them one by one. Coming to this world, hadn't I already decided? That in this world, I will live it to the fullest. Then, I must not turn my eyes away. No matter what kind of difficulties occur from now on, I will overcome them. It's no good if I don't do at least that. Yes, I've realized once again. Though realizing that, it's not like the pain subsided. However, I felt that I broke out of something. Sensei. Yes. Thank you very much. Again, Roxy has rescued me. Even giving thanks would not be enough.